What's up, everybody? This is DVSRB's Red Right Hand Reviews, and today I wanted to talk about a little app called Mercari. And Mercari, obviously, you use it for selling and buying stuff. You used to be able to find a lot of stuff a lot cheaper than eBay and stuff. I guess it's a competition to eBay or something like that. I mostly use Mercari. eBay, I usually just buy stuff. I've never really sold on eBay, but I just wanted to talk about the do's and the don'ts of using Mercari. Three do's and three don'ts. Just usually, like, from my experience of using Mercari, a lot of other people use different things. They use, Facebook Marketplace or, like I said, eBay, but I use mostly Mercari. So, number one of I'm gonna do don'ts before do's. I'm gonna do the three do's before the three don'ts. I guess whatever, or however you want to say it. So, number one do is always check market value when listing your items. And I say that because I've seen people post, like, somebody could have gotten a lot more money on something maybe worth up to $300, and someone listed it for like $100 and stuff like that. So I always say, always check market value on stuff. Always look at the sold listings. Same as eBay. If you can check eBay, you can check the Mercari sold and stuff. And if you're selling something, try to get the best value you can for it. Don't try to just throw something out there. Unless you really need the money, but you could always make a little bit more. So always check the sold listings and try to get the true value for your product that you're trying to sell. The number two do I always do is always check. For me, example, I don't like to do business with someone, maybe like a new account or someone that doesn't have any, a good rating or anything like that, or good reviews. Just because, just there's scammers out there. I'm not saying everybody's a scammer. It could be someone, you could be dealing with someone that just made an account that day. But at the same time, that's just me. I just like to deal with people that have a good standing, good reviews, like a reliable seller, reliable buyer. So I always check ratings. There's been times where I've sold something expensive. Someone just bought it, and then I looked, and it was someone had like no they hardly had any feedback. So it just kind of gets you worried. Make sure you're not going to get scammed. Because a lot of times what people do is that scammers, they'll get the product and they'll lie and they'll say they didn't get it. Mercari a lot of times sides with the buyers more than the sellers on a lot of instances. So it got to the point where a lot of people were recording themselves packing a product that they're selling, and just to have a little bit of proof. So yeah, always check. Make sure the guy's reliable. Make sure he's legit. So that's number three of my make sure you do on Mercari is try to be quick about rating people. If you buy something, if you're a buyer and you buy something on Mercari, especially if you get a good deal on something, or if you send an offer and the guy accepted it, don't be the guy that just, because there's a 3-day waiting period where, like, after 3 days, Mercari will just automatically rate the seller and give him his money. But if you get it that day, don't be that guy and just wait 3 days to review somebody. Don't be lazy. Obviously there's people who have work, so you can get home from work, and sometimes you're working all day and then you're working all night, and it might take a whole day before you actually even have time to check the package that you bought. So just obviously, so stuff like that can happen. So just kind of be quick about it. You never know, someone could need the money. Maybe someone needed to sell something. Maybe an unexpected bill came up. Maybe they're trying to buy the Mythic Legion's dragon like me, and maybe they're so maybe they need the funds a little bit faster. So always try to be a quick rater. I try to do it. This is my don'ts, my top three don'ts of when it comes to using Mercari. And this might get a little bit spicier. Some people might call me out. Some people might get mad or whatever. But, I'm guilty of doing some of these, but I've learned my lesson. I'm a different person now, and I'll explain why. But first, let me go to number one. And number one is try not to lowball. Don't be that guy lowballing everything and always trying to lowball. And, all you do is lowball. It's okay to make an offer, but come on, when you start like doing stuff and lying and saying all the stuff of why you need it cheap and stuff, it's annoying, and I don't like to deal with those kind of people. So, like, for example, I was selling I put up that Dragon Ball Z Purunga, the SH figure arts that I have back there, and that thing was like $300 when I bought it. Bought it a couple of years ago. And look, I haven't even opened it. So I don't even have space to actually open it and display it the way it's supposed to be displayed. So I listed it, $300 what I paid for. I'm not trying to make extra money. I put it pretty much for retail what I got it for. And, I have guys messaging me like, can you sell it to me for 160? And it's like, dude, it's like a $300 item. And you want me to sell it to you for half off? Like, this isn't the flea market. This isn't, um, Ollie's. This isn't freaking TJ Maxx, dude. Like, what are you talking? Like, I'm not going to sell you something for $160 and then they get mad. And then other examples, I sold a bunch of Last Ronin figures, like 6 of them. And NECA figures for like $35 to $40. And I even put a deal on it. It was like $180 for 6 figures, which I think is still a good deal. And it was like 6 good figures, it wasn't like 6 crappy figures. And some guys like 120, it's for my kid, it's his birthday and this and that. It's like, dude, I don't know you. I don't even know if you're telling me the truth. And it's $120. Like, I'm even offering free shipping. Like, like, come on, dude. Like, if you don't have the money, like, get the heck out of here, It's like, why even on here? Like, I'm not going to be giving you stuff just because trying to, say it's for my kid or it's for this or it's for that. Obviously, like, I don't know you. So that's one of my things. Like, try not to lowball. Especially when, it's like, come on. Like, this has to work both ways. You can't just get the best deal all the time. So that was number 1. Now, number 2 is, like I said, I was guilty of some of these things, and this was when I was guilty, and I don't feel bad. I don't feel good about doing it. I felt really bad after I did it. Never did it again. Like I said, I'm a changed person. I would never do it, and I'll explain it. So number 2 is telling people to cancel and offering to pay them more if they cancel and sell it to you, or vice versa. Or you sold something to somebody and someone messages you, DMs you, and it's like, hey, cancel it and I'll give you an extra $20, if you cancel and stuff like that. And I did that one time. I sold a Pokemon card, and I sold it to someone, and then someone else messaged me. That person actually made me an offer, and I accepted it. And then someone else messaged me, hey, bro, I'll give you like an extra, $30, $40. I forget what it was. It was a long time ago. Just cancel it and then relist it, and I'll buy it. And I did it, and it was kind of a dick move because the person offered it, gave me an offer, I accepted it. And when you accept an offer, it's like shaking someone's hand. You're only as good as your word. And I, went back on that and I resold it, which is kind of a dick move. So, I said now, if I cancel, I'm not going to cancel anymore to resell to somebody else for more. If I cancel something, it's maybe because I had a change of heart and it's maybe something that I didn't really want to sell. Or maybe at the moment I thought I didn't need it. And then maybe I just regretted it. But even then, I'm trying not to do that either. If I sell something, it's sold. So, if I sell something for $200 and someone messages me, say, hey, I'll give you $300, I'm not going to do it. The deal's done. Can't be that guy. So, yeah, so that one is, try not to be that guy where, or even the other way around. I've never done it the other way where I'm the one messaging someone, hey, cancel, I'll give you an extra, If I didn't have the money to buy it then, and I was just watching it all the time, then maybe. And number 3, which is to me is like, this one's kind of, it's not funny, but it's kind of like I advise against this. So what Mercari does is when you're going to buy something, they have the option to pay in 4, which is a pay in 4 payments. If you buy something, if you're looking at something that's $100, you can pay $25 every other week. Every 2 weeks, you pay $25 until it's paid off, 2 months. So why I advise against this is because I say, like I said, if you don't have the money to buy it just then and there, just don't do it. The pay in 4 thing is cool. If you're going to be really if you're going to be really careful, and you got to be really careful with it because you could see something that you really wanted, $200, it alleviates the hit a little bit. So I'm going to pay $50 every 2 weeks. Oh, that's not bad. And then you do that, and then you do it one time, and then the next time you do it again, and then you buy something else, and then you buy something else, and then it just snowballs, and it snowballs, and it snowballs. And then before you know it, you got like a $300 payment every 2 weeks, just of all the stuff that just added up that you bought. And take it from a guy with experience, there was like a couple months there where I was kind of stressed out because I had bought a bunch of stuff and I did the payment plans. And over here I got like a $500 freaking payment that I got to do every other week. And I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell did I do? But it was just a bunch of stuff that I just wanted, and I just checked off my list. And then you're getting notifications saying you got a payment coming up, and you don't even remember what that payment was for. And then you get another notification, you got another payment coming up in 3 days, then in 5 days, then in 6 days. And it's just like, it's really, really stressful. So I advise against doing the pay in 4. I mean, if you got a lot of willpower and you got a lot of self-control, go ahead and do it. But if you're like me at the time that just started going crazy and just started buying all this stuff, making payment plans, like I always said, if you got to start doing stuff in payment plans, then you can't really afford it. And you shouldn't really be doing that, because in the end you're just getting yourself into debt, and you're just, it's just not going to be mentally, it's just going to start, messing with you, and you're just like, everything's got to be a payment plan. You don't even want to pay for anything, like in full anymore, because you're just like, oh, I could just pay it in payments and pay it in payments, so that's a slippery slope that I advise to not do. So that was just just those are just the do's and don'ts of of my experience using Mercari. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just, maybe you had different experiences than I do, and maybe, just don't listen to me if that's the case. But I'm just trying to, I've been using it for a long time. It used to be better. Now it's, there's fees for everything. So yeah, if you're gonna keep using Mercari, just kind of be careful. If you're a buyer and if you're a seller, be respectful. Try to do everything the right way. So this was Devious RV's Red Right Hand Reviews, and peace.